How's it going, everyone? Jiivita here with a fluid mechanics crash course video. This was requested by Simtech and Ethereal Dark Gaming, but let's get down to business. So first off, fluids cannot be moved, or rather they cannot be picked up into your inventory and then placed somewhere else. This is basically to prevent griefing, because just imagine you live near a mountain and then somebody came along and covered the mountain in lava and all flowed over the top of your building and you're just kind of buried in lava. So that would not be very much fun. It does have considered a number of workarounds, and I think they will eventually implement one of them. I just don't think it's been a high priority up until this point. So moving beyond that, there are two types of fluids in Boundless. There is water, and then there's also lava. Some worlds will have one without the other, and then others will actually have both. So how the progression basically goes is that the home worlds, they only have water, lush planets only have water, coal worlds will have water on the surface with lava deep down below, metal worlds have lava both on the surface and down below with no water, and then finally the tier 5 planets so far seem to have water on the surface and then water in the deep dark places. And the reason why this information might be important to you is that water and lava have a few interesting mechanics or interactions with each other. Basically, when water and lava meet, they will form igneous rock. So you can actually set up essentially an infinitely regenerating block of igneous rock if you had the patience to sit there and break it over and over. But anyway, let's move along. Water and lava for the most part act exactly identical. However, water will flow 8 blocks away from its source block before it ends, whereas lava will only go 4 blocks. Lava is also a bit more viscous, so it moves a bit slower. So as I've already mentioned before, there are two types of fluids, but each type then has basically, I guess, subtypes. Basically, there are source blocks of water, and then there's actual flowing water. So as I mentioned, flowing water will only go 8 blocks away from its source before it needs at least a drop in elevation to go any further. So as you can see, flowing water will spread out when given the chance. However, water will also take the most direct path to the lowest area. So if we break this open now, we can see that the water will take a beeline for this low area. And if you have two low areas exactly the same distance away from each other, the water will then fork and go to all available low areas. And basically, as long as you're willing to drop elevation by 1 block every 8 blocks, you can extend the flow of water indefinitely, at least until you reach bedrock, and then, well, you're kind of out of luck. Over here you can see that it is possible to remove source blocks of water. Since you can't mine them out directly, you actually have to fill them in with a material to displace the water and then dig it all back out. So basically I filled this box in with nothing but dirt and then simply dug it all out. As you can see, if I break this open, it doesn't fill the whole entire container back up. And as you can see, it'll actually flow to chisel blocks as a low point. So let's pull out our chisel and we can actually just chisel a block to let the water in here. And as you can see, it goes straight for that chiseled surface right there. And in the absence of a low point, the water will spread out as normal. When removing water, there's no particular right or wrong way to do it. As you can see, there's a double wall right here. So if I remove this, you can see that now all of the water is now flowing down and it's no longer a source block. However, over here, if a empty spot is surrounded by 2 blocks of source water, it will repopulate the source block of water. So right here, if I remove this, it starts the flow, but then it sees that, oh, there's a source block of water here, a source block of right here, and so it fills in this area. So if you don't remove a complete line, it'll all just fill back in. However, we can use this mechanic to our advantage to actually move source blocks of water. So as I said before, if these 2 blue stones are source blocks of water, then this log, if it's an empty space, will be populated with a source block of water. So coming over here, let's say I wanted to get a source block of water all the way into this corner. Well, first off, you're going to need a water source directly off into this direction and then directly off into this other direction. Not only do you need source blocks off in that direction, but you need to be able to remove all of this space in between here. So as you can see, the further you want to bring water inland, the more and more blocks you will have to remove to accomplish that. Not to mention, eventually you'll run into issues. Let's say if I wanted to bring this water way over here, as you can see, eventually I'll run out of source blocks on this side, as I'll have to cut more and more and further off into that direction. So eventually there might be some source blocks way over there on the other side of that landmass, but that would be an epic undertaking to say the least. Let's go ahead and demonstrate this so we can try to just make a beeline for what we want to do. As you can see, that is all flowing water, so it's really not going to do us any good. But if we start shaving off this stuff to the side, it'll start populating our area with source blocks. Okay, so to give you a better example, as you can see, or actually it's kind of hard to see, it's slightly sloping down right here to the side, and if you look underwater it's actually easier to see. So normally you wouldn't see this kind of reflection right here. That's because the water is sloped, and if we remove this last block that's standing in the way of all these source blocks all the way over here, you can see that it slowly fills in all the way across. So all of those are now source blocks, and very nice. Anyway, I think that covers the fluid mechanics pretty nicely. This was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, like cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.
You